Julie, it'd be great to talk to you more about how do we help others deal with grief, and in particular, children. How do we actually describe death to children, and what's the appropriate way to do it at different ages?
So the kind of understandable instinct of parents is to protect children from the truth because they don't want them to suffer and be scared. But actually what we know for children of all ages and much younger than we would ever imagine is that children need the same truth as all the adults around them. What they don't know, they make up. And what they make up is much more frightening than the truth because our imagination is limitless. And also children, and I think adults too actually, have magical thinking.
Yeah.
So if they're told, Daddy has gone to heaven or we've lost Daddy, heaven can be a hamburger joint that's around the corner that they can go to every day, and they lose things all the time that get them back. So the thing that children need to know is that death is irreversible, and the way at Child Bereavement UK we talk about it, and it's well evidence-based, is to tell a child that whoever it is has died, and use the dead word, not gone to heaven, not passed away. The person has died, and that means that their body doesn't work anymore. They may look like they're asleep, but they're not asleep, they've died. And children can really manage the truth. It's adults who find it very difficult.
That's so interesting.
And include them in the funeral, in the plans, so that they participate in it. Because what I see decades later is children who are sent to the aunt or the grandmother who have no memories, no focus for their grief, and feel like they were excluded and diminished by it. And so then they're angry that they didn't participate in their father's or their mother's or their siblings' death. And they have no memories. And then that is much more likely to be complicated grief, which brings with it all those difficulties.
And when we have a friend who's suffering from grief, or even a colleague, maybe someone a bit more distant that you don't know so well, but you know they're going through the bereavement process, often there's this kind of awkwardness about, should I say something, should I not? Do you have any advice about the best way to approach grief with someone else who's suffering from it?
I think when you're coming up to somebody who's grieving, who's either been recently bereaved or actually 6 months later, the best and really simplest thing to do is acknowledge it. To say, I'm so sorry, and the name of the person who's died. There's this thought that I'm going to remind them and upset them.
Yeah.
You're not going to be reminding them. They will be thinking of that person 24/7. And the thing to do is to acknowledge it and say it in the simplest way that you can. I'm so sorry that he's died. And then track the person where they go with it. So if it's a colleague who clearly doesn't want to talk about it, who says, thank you very much, and then talks about a work issue, don't say, oh, no, I want you, don't drag them back. Go with them with their work.
Yeah.
But if you're a close friend, be the friend that shows up. So be the friend that doesn't just send a text saying, I'm thinking of you, let me know if there's anything I can do. But be the friend that actually walks through the door, sits with your friend, lets them cry, lets them not talk, takes them for a walk, takes the children away so that they can have a break, and do it for much longer than most people think, because grief takes longer than most people want. And many friendships are broken on the hill of grief, and many friendships are made on it, because the people who show up are often the ones that are most surprising.
Yeah.